Look who's two. It's you. What the fuck? Why isn't an alligator? Logic, you son of a bitch. Baby, what's that?
Happy birthday!
How big a slice do you want, baby? Just right down the middle?
Oh my god. Are you okay?
I think I ate too much cake. I'm feeling a little bit bloated.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Night at the Movies. I'm your host, Shoe on Head, and with me, as always, is the armored critic, armored skeptic, armored atheist,
June.
skeptic
June,
idiot.
just call me daddy.
And tonight we saw DeadPool.
Hey, yeah, I wanna shoot,
Kind of lonesome back here.
Little help here.
Excuse me.
Woo! Dopinder.
Pool. Dead.
Why the fancy red suit, Mr. Poole?
Oh, that's because it's Christmas Day, Dopinder, and I'm after someone on my naughty list.
Normally, we'd start off by saying spoiler warnings, but to be honest, this movie is so simple, it's not even worth it.
Yeah, like, it wouldn't ruin anything if we told you anything, because it's more about the adventure and the humor and the characters than it is the actual plot.
The one thing I will admit, more of this movie's appeal comes with the novelty. This is the first hard 18A movie to come out with a superhero in it. And everywhere that they played it safe with the story and the characters, they decided to go balls out in other areas.
Like, the humor was very raunchy and
The
politically
humor is without a doubt the most inappropriate humor I've ever heard in a
politically incorrect. Yeah, in a movie, just in general. Pretty much jokes that you would make and I would make, and very like modern humor. And there was a lot of violence, a lot of gore, especially the opening scene. Somebody got freaking thrown, got wrecked on a highway sign.
A guy got turned into paste immediately after somebody was decapitated.
Just it's paste. That hurt. Oh, I think I still have chocolate on my hands. I do. You're a movie snob. How do you think this movie was directed overall?
I was not overly impressed, to be honest. Anything that isn't an action scene is actually kind of boring. It wasn't that it wasn't able to grasp me, but I was never impressed. Cameras very much seemed to be put down and stood still. There's a lot of shot, reverse shot. There was not a lot of creativity in the non-action scenes. But this movie wasn't about the non-action scenes, was it?
I'm not sure if I agree with that, actually. I wasn't, like, bored with the non-action scenes. I don't think they were directed badly. It wasn't like, okay, this is boring, let's get to the action.
Yeah, but tell me if I'm wrong.
You're
the
wrong.
action scenes look like they were directed by a completely different director than the non-action scenes.
How should I disagree with you? I don't disagree with you. Alright, maybe you're right then. Don't get too full of yourself. If you could explain this movie in just a few sentences, how would you explain it?
Even though they very cleverly cut up the story into past, present, past, present, past, present.
That was so good for my ADHD.
And I knew that this would just be another origin story, but they did a good job of making it not a shitty
It
origin story.
kept my attention the entire time, going back and forth, back and forth. I rarely see movies really do that.
However, if you were to edit it in a straight line, this is a very simple story of Wade Wilson gets cancer, and he wants to get cured so that his girlfriend isn't sad, and then the guy that's promised to cure him makes him a monster, and then he goes to get revenge on the guy.
The end.
The end, that's the story.
But if you told it like that, it doesn't do it any justice.
But again, this movie isn't about the story. Wade Wilson, Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds, I'm not going to lie about this. I'm not a fan of him at all. But if there was one role in this fucking universe he was made for, it was Deadpool. He was witty, he was sharp, he was fun. A lot of his jokes kind of were already dated by the time the movie came out. That wasn't Deadpool's thing. Deadpool wasn't known for being clever, he was just known for being witty and funny.
Smart ass.
Yeah, he's a smart ass. The merc with the mouth, that's his thing.
He reminded me a lot of you. Like, if you were a superhero, you'd be Deadpool.
Kind of an anti-hero who's extremely politically incorrect, a fourth wall breaker.
Oh god, the fourth wall breaking was the best part.
Some of the fourth wall breaking was really well handled. There's one point when he's talking to the audience and Colossus goes, "What did you say?" And he goes, "I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to them." There was also the time that he went to the Xavier's mansion and there's only 2 people there, the same 2 people that we've already met, and he's like, "Seems funny, you know, a big house and there's only 2 heroes in here. It's almost like the studio couldn't afford any more superheroes."
I like the part where it's just, he keeps like making fun of Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
So often.
The very first time he breaks the fourth wall, he talks to the audience and he says, "What did I have to do to get this movie? I had to fondle Wolverine's balls. Yeah, I just tickled him down under," making a reference to the fact that Hugh Jackman is Australian.
I love when he brought up Ryan Reynolds. He's like, "Yeah, you think Ryan Reynolds got this far on his acting?" The girlfriend, Vanessa, she was really awesome. Together, they were really funny. How they met was really funny.
It was kind of creepy how their relationship was so similar to our relationship. This is our version of a fourth wall break.
Yeah.
It was kind of creepy.
Creepy
that they
for
even use the same
reasons.
terminology we
Yeah.
use. Like, your crazy matches my
Yeah.
crazy. We're puzzle pieces.
It was
All
cute.
that gay
It
shit.
was cute.
Everything but the pegging.
Yeah, everything but the pegging. We'll
Not
save
that I would be embarrassed.
We'll
It's
save
just not
that
our thing.
for International Women's Day.
Oh, that is the exact opposite of what's going to happen on
Okay,
International
and then
Women's Day.
she was really cool. They had a lot of chemistry. Their relationship was very like realistic.
She was beautiful too, almost like you if
was-
you look like an adult.
Thanks.
Then there's his best friend, the bartender.
Yeah, he was funny.
People are calling him the comic relief, but that's kind of a misnomer in a comedy. Not to mention that Wade Wilson's the funniest character
Yeah,
in the movie.
the bartender guy was funny. He kind of had that, "You look like an avocado that had sex with another avocado that was rotten," and then it was really funny. I don't know, I can't describe his humor. They were good together.
That motherfucker was in Transformers 4. He was the only inoffensive thing about the movie, and they killed him off really fast.
Why did you even see Transformers 4?
Because I hate myself!
The main villain, Ajax.
Francis.
Francis. Fucking Francis.
I have no idea who the fuck that was supposed to be. I've never heard of that villain before.
Again, maybe they just made him up for the movie.
Well, they make fun of him in the opening credits. They make fun of everybody in the opening
the opening
credits, but they just called him generic British villain.
Yes, he was pretty generic.
I couldn't really tell what his powers were. He was super strong, super fast, and couldn't feel
Couldn't
pain
feel
and could heal
anything.
fast.
I can't feel anything.
So he was just like general bad guy.
Yeah, cliche bad guy. Very cliche. They did kind of break the fourth wall with that, though. Generic British villain.
I suppose he served his purpose. He was basically the MacGuffin. He promised Wade that he could cure his disfigurement. I guess that's his character?
He did torture him a lot. That part was painful to watch.
The hospital scene was horrifying.
I was
yes.
like, yeah. Oh, Colossus and
Colossus and Nega Fire Phoenix Teenage Blow Up Doll, whatever she was called.
Tumblr Teenage.
She was funny. They used
liked
her well
her.
in the
Yeah,
movie.
she's
It was
cool.
funny that she was so obscure because they did point out how obscure she was in the movie.
What the shit? That's the coolest name ever.
It was kind of a cool name. Let's not lie, that was a cool name. But it's definitely
Very
something an edgy
pretentious.
teenager would
Yeah.
call themselves.
That's her Tumblr handle.
Yeah.
So, Colossus.
Okay, Colossus is my favorite superhero ever. And I was
Fangirling so hard.
I was really excited to see him.
That was really cute.
Something about metal.
He told me to go into his little toy box over there and find Colossus. And I was like, is this Colossus? Is this him? I don't know, June. What do you think? How am I? It looks like every other superhero.
Does it?
Does it not?
Does it?
Does it not?
Does it?
Look at Iron Man and then look at him. He looks like Iron Man.
Iron Man
Same
is
color,
wearing
same color
metal.
scheme.
He is not made
He's
of
not metal. Oh, okay. Didn't you say that he can get out of his metal suit?
Yeah, but whatever.
June 1, Atheist 0.
Colossus was generally the voice of reason in this movie. He was like, Deadpool, we've been over this. You are meant to be a hero. You shouldn't be doing this stupid stuff. You should be coming with us and become an X-Man. You're meant for greatness, and look what you're doing. That was essentially Colossus's
Yeah, he was
character.
like the older brother, like just teaching these superheroes.
Yeah, I
this
mean,
is
you
the
know,
right
Deadpool
thing
even
to
calls
do.
him a big brother
Yeah.
in the movie. I was happy to see Colossus actually in a real toe-to-toe battle, because we've never seen that before.
That was cool.
He was kind of mishandled as a character in the previous X-Men movies, and he was in an actual beat-down match with another villain who has super strength, and it was awesome watching them just beat the shit out of each other.
That was really entertaining.
Yeah, Colossus even lost that fight. That's how strong she was. It was really cool.
You're probably thinking this was a superhero movie, but that guy in the suit just turned that other guy into a fucking kebab. Surprise. This is a different kind of superhero story.
To tell it right, we gotta take you back before I squeeze this ass into spandex.
Mr. Wilson, you've recently been diagnosed with terminal cancer.
We can fight this.
What if I told you we can cure you and give you abilities most men only dream of?
I'd say that you sound like an infomercial, but not a good one.
The special effects, what did you think?
Generally, I'm gonna say they were good, but there was too much digital stuff. The first action scene with the cars rolling and the motorcycles exploding and the people turning to mush, it was fun, but there was way too much digital blood. That wasn't unnecessary. There's places where, sure, it needed to be done, like when people's heads exploded, but come on, folks. Like, this is the first time we've had an 18A movie, like, use real effects. It probably would cost the same amount of money.
The opening scene was amazing. I loved the filter they used, the colors and everything, and it was kind of dark, very fast-paced, and the slow motion was kind of neat.
How they kept stopping it, and, like, the camera would pan through the scene.
And you see his, like, Hello Kitty lip gloss.
Well, it's
and
very
stuff.
much like an actual comic book, because in a comic book, it's just still images. You get to admire all the art, and he's showing like a slow pan of his butt and stuff like that. That's what it's like in an actual comic book. You get to admire the scenes.
That's a really good point. It very much felt like a comic book in real life.
If I never see you again, know that I love you.
When I'm finished, your mutated cells will heal anything. But you still think we're making you a superhero. We're making you a super slave. Oh, come on.
You gonna leave me all alone here with Jose Canseco?
As an experiment, this new thing that they're doing at the Cineplex Odeon, they're calling the D-Box. And for the low, low price of twice the price of a normal ticket, you get to sit on a rocking chair.
A vibrator.
It vibrates, it gets women off. It is a lot of fun. At
whole
very
time,
first, we sit down and the opening credits and the camera's going through and this chair is going like this, and I'm like, this is not worth an extra $15. What the fuck? However, it eventually started to feel like it was worth the money, because during the action scenes, when people's heads would smash into things, the chair would go boof, and it made you realize, oh yeah, that would really fucking hurt.
Yeah, it like the impact, and sometimes it would like jolt and stuff. That was really, really cool.
Yeah, and it made me come.
Me too.
So would I recommend the D-Box? No, not unless you're a rich man.
It was kind of annoying because I was trying to lean on you. I don't think our chairs were synced up, because sometimes you'd go that way and I'd go this way, and I was like, well.
Actually, there was one time I had my arm between the two armrests to touch your leg, and then for a second I realized, oh yeah, if our chairs go like this, my arm is breaking.
You're gonna just crush, yeah.
Be careful, Cineplex Odeon, you might get a lawsuit on your hands one day. This movie could very well have never been made. Fox had an executive that didn't want this movie to be made. So they made test footage. It was all CGI, it was just computer generated. Ryan Reynolds did voice it, and it was never meant for a public release. It was meant to show the executives, look, we can make a good movie for Deadpool. Like, we realize it's gonna have to be rated 18A, but look, or AR in the States.
Yeah.
You fucking Americans.
18A? What does that even mean? 18 adult?
Yes.
R is for
what?
Really cool movie. America.
Freedom. R stands
F
for
is
freedom.
for freedom. Every movie is rated F in America.
This footage is essentially the opening car scene where he jumps in the car and fights the guys.
Only it was X gonna give it to you, right?
Yeah, well, it had different music. But it was essentially the same thing, and it started off with him drawing a picture, but there was a better joke at the end. Because when the car flips upside down and you see his head poke out, instead of him saying, "Did I leave the oven on?" he shows a guy that picture of him slicing a guy's head off, and the guy goes, "Oh my god," and then he slices the guy's head off. And it was hilarious. This footage was never meant to go out to the public. When Fox said no, Ryan Reynolds leaked the footage. And the fans went fucking ballistic, and it basically forced Fox's hand
Yep.
after whoever the fuck this executive was that
Risky
left.
move, but also smart. A lot of people are talking about how now that Deadpool is doing so well at the box office, do you think other movies are going to try and copy it?
Yes, but is that a good thing? I'm not entirely sure. I think everybody's kind of getting sick of superhero movies. Like, I love superheroes, but come on. Marvel, you're ruining my love of superheroes by announcing like 20 years in advance what you're coming out with.
See, I'm not a fan of superhero movies for that reason. They just feel like they're just pooped out on a like conveyor belt. Like,
And they are now, and they're not even imaginative anymore. When the original Avengers movie was announced, I was excited. I loved watching it. When Civil War was announced, I almost cried. Because I cannot handle this shit anymore. Okay, let me talk.
Okay.
Now they've tried something risky, they've tried something new. And what I'm hoping is that Hollywood's gonna say, okay, audiences want new things. What I'm worried is gonna happen is
They're not
they're
gonna
gonna
do
say
it right.
audiences want R-rated movies now.
audiences want edge. And then they're gonna try to be too edgy and they're gonna fail.
See, the R-rated thing is never gonna work for Iron Man.
No.
It's never gonna work for Hulk. It might work for Wolverine. Let's be honest, Wolverine fucking cuts people in half.
Yeah.
But it's not something that's gonna work across the board.
I think we're going to start seeing some Deadpool copycats and they're going to fall flat on their faces.
That's kind of what I'm worried about, is it might start a new trend of good movies, but it also might just start a new trend of exactly what we just saw.
Yep.
What I'm hoping we're gonna see with the next Deadpool is not the exact same thing. I'm hoping that they've taken their lesson that they can make an 18A movie, and they're going to start taking risks with the stories and the characters
I think-
instead of taking risks with the violence and the blood.
I think now that the first one like established his character, how he's like witty and whatever, now the next one will have like a deeper story, right? Don't you think?
Let's hope so.
Whatever they did to me made me totally indestructible and completely
No.
unfuckable.
You look like the inside of other people's assholes.
Now, June's sister challenged us to find one thing wrong with this movie. Well, we found a lot more than one, you bitch. So let's go through them.
I loved this movie. I am 100% sure this is currently my new favorite movie.
Wow.
Hands down. Yes, which is
Wow.
big.
And you don't even watch superhero
No.
movies.
See, that's the thing that blew my mind. I'm not really into superhero movies, but this was like hilarious. It was just, you were even super pumped up after you left the theater.
I was, I've
You're
never
just
been
like-
that
You're just like,
pumped up.
X, go and give it to you.
Okay, so what's this leading up to?
Okay. The only thing I had a problem with is just like, it's just story-wise, was he didn't look that ugly when he was burnt.
I know.
He just kind of looked like Ryan Reynolds with some scars on his face.
Yeah, that's the kind of the problem, is that because Ryan Reynolds is a pretty boy and he's also a big Hollywood actor, they can't make him really look like Wade Wilson. They have to make him look like Ryan Reynolds just got out of chemotherapy.
Yeah, it was kind of like unrealistic. That's stupid to say in a movie like this, but it was kind of like cringy in a way when he was walking through the streets about to talk to his girlfriend again when he was all burnt. He was all embarrassed. He's like, I don't know what to do. And all the people in the streets were looking at him like, oh my God, what a monster, look away.
Yeah, you're right,
And,
that never would happen.
no, people would really just kind of give like the
They would
side
very
eye.
politely kind of look away.
Yeah,
It's like,
like,
oh,
just-
look at the apples are cheap.
But they made it such a big deal, and I don't know why that bothered me, but I was like, no one would act like that.
And I don't honestly believe that the girlfriend would be disgusted by him, and I don't think Wade would think the girlfriend would
Especially
be disgusted.
their relationship was like totally, like they clicked so well.
Yeah.
They had so much chemistry. You wouldn't care.
The direction was a little uninspired. Maybe they didn't bring the right director in, maybe they just wanted to play it safe. I don't know, but There were scenes that were unnecessarily uninspired. There were scenes when Wade and the bartender were talking with each other, and it was just shot, reverse shot.
There was a part where he takes out his phone and he sees a text and there's an emoji on the screen and he's like, what is this? Oh, that's a poop. Oh, I always thought it was chocolate. Like, it's an emoji. Do you know how dated that is gonna be?
It's already dated. They've been selling those poop stuffed animals for over a year
It
now.
was such normie humor that it just bothered me. It was like, oh, an emoji. Those are popular right now, right, guys?
You bring up normie humor. That was another problem I had with the movie. They were playing to as broad an audience as they could, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, there
I
was
mean,
like every single type of humor, which is awesome.
Making it an 18A movie, you're going to narrow your audience down to only adults and kids who have parents that are too stupid to realize it's an 18A movie. So they're going to have to make jokes that everybody can understand.
Which is cool. That was actually a very positive thing.
That was not a good thing.
Why?
Because I didn't like it!
Okay. Calm down. I don't like it. Change it.
Change it! There were too many digital squibs and too many digital muzzle flashes. Too much digital blood going when people got shot. Too many digital guns. It always looks fake. They gotta stop doing that, Hollywood. It always looks fake. This is an 18A movie. You do digital squibs in 14A movies, not 18A movies.
I didn't ask to be super, and I'm no hero. But when you find out your worst enemy is after your best girl, the time has come to be a fucking superhero. Right up Main Street.
Cue the music.
Overall rating, how did you like it?
Well, I'm gonna be a little conservative here. I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm gonna bump that up to an 8 for the risk of going 18A. However, if this was the norm, which pretty soon it could be, we're gonna look back at this movie and be like, oh yeah, that one is really boring in comparison.
And I'm gonna be a little bit liberal here, and I'm going to say fuck the patriarchy. I'm gonna be a little liberal and say I give it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
I really like that.
Who should see this movie then?
Everyone who's over 18 and who likes humor and who is not opposed to like blood and stuff.
I definitely agree. Everyone over the age of 18 should see this movie.
Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw and you'd like to see more Armored Skeptic, please subscribe. If you absolutely love me, you can support me on Patreon. Or if you have a passing affection for me, you can buy my t-shirt. Links in the description.
As June's sister challenged us to find one thing wrong with this movie. Well, we found a lot more than one, you bitch, so let's go through them.
Okay. You want to do it again? I feel like you can deliver it better.
Okay. How should I deliver it?
No, you did it perfectly, but you'll probably do it better.
How should I deliver it?
Better.
You are an amazing director.
Just better, okay? And done. Bye!
Turn off the recorder.
The audio?
Yeah, turn the audio off.
Which one stopped? The square? Square?
You had a square? Have you never seen a VCR before?
No, you old fuck! Yeah, fine. I got it.